WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. With COVID cases in Mississippi at 847 and rising, there's no question that there's a new strain on the healthcare system. Courtney Ann Jackson explains what she's learned about Mississippi's capacity for caring for COVID-19 patients.
Do Mississippi hospitals have the capacity to handle this COVID-19 outbreak? From a pure number standpoint, things look promising. Kaiser Health News data shows Mississippi's ratio of beds per 1,000 people is better than most states. But a look at space doesn't tell the full story. Staffing is where the Mississippi Hospital Association says things could get complicated.
As the pandemic worsens, the need for ICU beds, critical care beds, ventilators, which in turn requires a higher level of training and expertise to take care of those patients. That's going to be the biggest challenge that we face.
And they're looking at options that could alleviate some of that.
Trying to have discussions about where do we find these additional personnel, and certainly nurses that have retired, that may have taken other professions, that are willing to come back into healthcare and provide service at this time as they're called. Is going to be a big part of this.
But there are still unknowns about how big of a strain the state's hospitals may be forced to take on.
If you look at even a 20% exposure rate, you're looking at regular, normal hospital beds being, we would be in need of about 20% more beds than we currently have.
Kaiser Health News numbers show 33 out of 82 counties have ICU beds. Executive Director of the Mississippi Rural Health Association, Ryan Kelly, notes the delay of elective services and folks heeding some warnings are freeing up some space.
They're not using the emergency room for things that are not emergencies because they don't want to be there with COVID-19 patients. So we're kind of still on standby, just waiting for what could be a massive surge in the coming week to 2 weeks, hoping that it doesn't happen, but ready if it does.
Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
So far, 32% of those who've tested positive in the state have needed hospitalization. Alabama has 923 cases of COVID-19 and 6 deaths. That's according to the Department of Public Health. Governor Kay Ivey has not issued a stay-at-home order in that state, but is urging residents to do just that and avoid gatherings.
But now, staying at home does not mean inviting all your friends over. It means avoid interacting with others as much as possible. Everyone at every age is vulnerable, and we need all our people of all ages to start thinking about others, many that you love and care for, even if you aren't thinking about yourself. So now and for the foreseeable future, please, please consider staying safe at home.
Locally, Lamar County is still reporting just 1 case of the virus. Pickens County now has 2. Birmingham has the most in the state with more than 250 positive tests. Tuscaloosa County has 23. New tonight, casinos in Mississippi remain closed amid the coronavirus outbreak. Pearl River Resort, which is owned and operated by the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians, announces tonight its facilities will be closed until further notice. Originally, leaders hoped to be back up and running by April 1st, which is just this week, but instead, to comply with the CDC guidelines, those facilities will stay closed. Plans are underway in Aberdeen to possibly shut down the city as the coronavirus continues to spread in the Magnolia State. Mayor Maurice Howard took to Facebook tonight telling people who live in Aberdeen to prepare for the city to close.
We're going to talk about shutting the entire city down. We're not just going to copy and paste an executive order from another city, but we're going to, I'm in the process right now of typing up our own executive order.
Mayor Howard went on to say that he's spoken with members of the Board of Aldermen and expects that order to pass at tomorrow night's meeting. The curfew in Columbus will continue for at least another 5 days. Mayor Robert Smith announces today that he has continued the resolution. Smith says a civil emergency continues to exist here in the Friendly City. The curfew is in place from 10 p.m. until 6 a.m. except for essential travel by people over the age of 18. Now, the measure can be renewed. Now, if caught, you could face a $300 fine, 6 months in jail, or both.
Pretty quiet in Starkville this evening, but if you look closely, there are some wet roadways out there. And let's go up to Ole Miss there at the campus. You can see it's a little bit dark, but There's some rain falling here in Lafayette County and in Oxford. So this is where we have the steadiest rain from near Houston to Bruce to Water Valley, Oxford out towards Sardis and Batesville. And the rain showers will continue to blossom, especially across the northern half of the area tonight as this whole system continues moving in from the west. So a bit of a wet night for us as we head out the door tomorrow, the last day of March. Temperatures in the 50s at 7 o'clock. There will be some rain around, some storms as well. We don't really anticipate too many strong storms around here. Nicer weather for the middle of the week. We'll talk about it in just a few more minutes.
The effects of the coronavirus are digging deeper into the nation's economy. Today, Macy's said it will furlough a majority of its 130,000 person workforce. And the restaurant industry lost an estimated $25 billion in sales in the first 3 weeks of March. That's a devastating blow to an industry where many survive paycheck to paycheck. CBS's Adriana Diaz has more.
This delivery man in Tarrytown, New York is none other than a top chef. Dale Taldy had to lay off 44 employees at his restaurant Goosefeather and is barely surviving on takeout and deliveries. So when he got a 50% tip, it was overwhelming.
You know, you have like 5 people left in the restaurant. It's like, you know, we're just doing our best to, you know, they have families to feed, they have mortgages to pay.
5 to 7 million people could lose their jobs in the coming months, and server Emily Tucker already has. We found her lining up for free food in Houston.
If this keeps going on for months and longer, I guess start looking at another career, which, you know, this has been my whole life, so I don't want to.
A slice of the $2 trillion stimulus package is being served to restaurants. The government's now offering restaurants loans with interest to cover 2.5 months of payroll and tax breaks. Delfina Cardona has owned Cardona's in Chicago for 18 years. She laid off 10 of her 12 employees.
I feel like I want to help them, but I don't have enough money to help them. I feel like this is a nightmare.
She doesn't think the stimulus will be enough. So every day she works her own grill, and every night she prays for her employees. Adriana Diaz, CBS News, Chicago.
Our prayers going up, definitely, for sure. Well, here at home, when you watch commercials on WCBI, many times our advertisers are promoting their businesses. But during this global pandemic, they're promoting something much bigger than their products. They're spreading messages of hope and unity to help get everyone through these tough times. Our Quentin Smith has more.
Lily and I want to tell you to be careful with this coronavirus.
When Bill Russell has a message he wants to spread, he knows just how to reach his audience.
I don't lie to you.
See, Russell often makes commercials about vehicles he's selling, but in a recent spot, he switched up his approach.
Make sure you wash your hands, ain't that right, or your paws. Make sure you don't cough on nobody. Make sure you put your deal when you cough like that.
This time, he's bringing attention to the coronavirus, which continues to plague the country. Russell says he wants people to be safe and protect themselves, but to also not be fearful of living their everyday lives.
I got 65 employees, and I got to provide for them and their families and our customers, and we got to stay here. And then we got to be smart about doing it, but we're not going to panic. We're just going to try to be smart.
Russell's isn't the only uplifting commercial you'll see. Room-to-Room Furniture is also spreading messages of hope.
I know that it's been challenging times, but we'll get through this together.
Lisa Hawkins owns the furniture store, and in her video, she's challenging others to open their Bible and read Psalm 91 to help them get through this challenging time.
I'm a person of faith, so it helped me, and I was trying to help other people of faith. People deal with things in different ways, but it was just a life application that I could apply to myself to help myself, and I was hoping that it would help other people too.
Although the two business owners are well known for their sales pitches and great deals, they say they don't mind using their platform to serve as an inspiration to their communities.
We are alive. We are healthy. Americans have gone through many different things, many different viruses, many different illnesses, many different economic situations, and we are all still standing. We will be standing after this, and I just want to be an encouragement right now through these difficult times that we have.
I'm not innovative. I'm not doing anything that anybody don't know. It's just you got to be willing to say it, and I am willing to say it.
Both businesses said that they're taking and practicing all precautionary measures to keep everyone safe, along with following federal guidelines given by the CDC. And Keith, we're following those guidelines too.
Yes.
Being 6 feet apart.
You're way over there.
Way over there. We don't even get near each other anymore.
We got this big personal space. Don't violate my personal space, Scott. All right, weather-wise this evening, we've got temperatures around 60 here. That's our Off Insurance Camera Network in Vernon, at Durham's Pharmacy, Louisville, Mississippi, Columbus, Tupelo there. The temperatures around the upper 50s, low 60s. We have rain tonight and tomorrow. Nicer weather for the middle of the week. We'll talk about that next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Let's recap our little March heat wave we had late last week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, new record highs in Tupelo. We tied the old record in Starkville and Columbus on Thursday, also tying the record in Columbus on Saturday. So it was warm, flirting with 90 in many spots, warm and breezy. Here's our first alert forecast for tonight, and this is Isla with her rain booties on. Perfect timing, Isla. You're going to need them tomorrow if you're out and about. Some rain and thunder at 7 o'clock, 55 degrees. Highs 50s and low 60s. More in the way of scattered showers in the afternoon. The heaviest rain tonight and tomorrow morning. But let's just see how it all plays out here. A bit of a gloomy day for us. A lot of cloud cover regardless. Some of these highs could be a little bit hard to reach depending on things. Some models suggesting some of you may stay in the 50s. Now, right now, this is our live radar from Aberdeen to Houston, Calhoun City, and Bruce. Some steadier rain also for you in Water Valley, Oxford, Batesville. That's where the steadiest rain is falling at this point. We expand the view and just look at how it's expanding here in Arkansas. There's a little bit of thunder and lightning in this, so don't be at all surprised to see a flash of lightning tonight. Maybe hear some thunder into tomorrow morning. Lesser amounts of rain along and south of 82, probably less than 3/4 of an inch, but we may see 1 to 2 inches or more, especially in the far northwestern areas where you're seeing the steadiest rain now. The severe weather threat late tonight is not zero, but it's essentially zero. We don't really expect a lot of activity here. We will be on the more stable side of this system coming on through the cooler side. So notice how the rain is building in right now, our hour-by-hour forecast. Mainly 50s when we wake up tomorrow at 6 or 7 o'clock. You get just south of our area, Kemper County, Neshoba County, and Point South. A little bit warmer, perhaps, a little bit better chance for some strong to severe storms. We can't rule out a gusty line of showers here with maybe a little bit of lightning in the morning, but overall, we're not too concerned. By mid-morning, a lot of the heavy stuff is done, and then we'll have some scattered showers throughout the course of the day. Look at the temperatures, though. We mentioned the chance that some of you could stay in the 50s during the afternoon, so can't rule it out with the extensive cloud cover. Breezy northwest winds at about 10 to 20. All of that goes away tomorrow night, and it will get cool. Low 40s, upper 30s when we wake up on Wednesday. We are rewarded with a lot of sunshine getting into our Wednesday afternoon. Highs getting back into the mid-60s. A great day here on Wednesday. Not too bad Thursday either. Low 70s will return. Also for Friday, too, we're going to go with mid to upper 70s Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We may offer some better rain opportunities as we get into the weekend. We're going to lowball it for now, but some more showers could be on the way. There's your forecast. More of the show after the break.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back, everyone. Do you have the sniffles, itchy eyes, a headache maybe? It could be spring allergies. We learn more tonight in our Health Talk with Baptist.
Hi, I'm Dr. Justin Garner, and I'm part of the otolaryngology team at Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. I want to talk to you about spring allergies, and it all begins with exposure. Even if you've inhaled an allergen many times before with no trouble, at some point, for some reason, the body flags it as an invader. During this particular exposure, the immune system studies the allergen and gets ready for the next exposure by developing special cells called antibodies designed to detect the allergen in the future. You're now sensitized to the allergen. Then, the next time your body is exposed to the allergen, your immune system kicks into action. The antibodies recognize it, and your body goes to work fighting off the invader by flooding your body with chemicals such as histamine. This is what produces your allergy symptoms. Keep in mind that the amount of exposure matters. There's a threshold or tipping point for people with allergies. You can handle some exposure, but if it gets to be too much, the immune system is triggered to attack. Some people, most often children, may outgrow an allergy completely. For others, their symptoms get worse as they get older and the immune system gets weaker. But once you have an allergy, it doesn't go away on its own. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist, and we'll discuss some of the worst allergen triggers.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
Coach Davis, thanks for joining us on the Boxed Out podcast.
Well, good to be with you guys.
As an SEC coach who's been living, sleeping, eating sports for so long, we're going into week 3 of no sports at all. Just what have you been up to?
Yeah, it's all of our lives have changed so differently. We're all working from home. That started about 10 days ago. So I'm here with my wife and my daughter, Allie. And then my daughter and her husband from Tupelo came over and going to spend about a week with us before they move into to a house there. So, everybody just working from home. We're all trying to figure it out. I know everybody, what discourages everybody is just, I guess, timelines. Kind of when is everything going to start back to normal? And but right now, we're in a dead period. We usually be right now recruiting, gone all the time. So both my wife and my daughter are ready for me to get back recruiting, get out of this house. I promise you that.
Kermit, you just talked about your wife and your daughter, Allie. I know we talked about it last week. You're hoping to get up there, but your daughter started up a library in your garage, and you had a tweet that went semi-viral last week. What did you talk about that?
Well, Allie's been so involved. Even when we were in Murfreesboro, Allie was so involved. She was an assistant librarian for probably 12 or 13 years in some of the local elementary schools there. She has great affection for books. She's in probably 3 or 4 of the school systems here as a teacher's aide. And so she knows all the kids. And this was really kind of before, everything got really, shut down. It was my wife, Betty, and her idea, take all the old books that they had since the library was closed and just have them come by the house and you could check books out. And Allie was acting like the librarian. And then Allie was getting to the point, she loves math. So she was making like math worksheets. You're going to be able to do math worksheets and all that. And then she was going to, hopefully the kids are going to bring them back to them and she was going to get to grade them and all those kind of things. So yeah, it was really good. And then when I tweeted it, we started to have some people from across town just to come over and see Allie. Trust me, Allie's the star in our household. I promise you, I'm a way distant second in this place. And but then, like I said, then the social distancing and everything got a little more serious, and obviously it is what it is today. And so hopefully we can crank that thing back up maybe in May sometime.
With everything that's going on now, and we go back a few years ago to when you first got the job, what do you think is the more challenging off season? Dealing with all this or trying to implement your system when you first got hired?
Yeah, it's not even a close second. This is the hardest thing we've all ever been through in coaching. I can't imagine what a new staff would go through right now. I talked to Andy Kennedy the other day, or Brian Berg, or I have another former assistant, just got a Division II job out in New Mexico. At least I got a chance then. I could have individual meetings. I got to know my guys. I could go have lunch with them in the cafeteria, all the things. So now you think about it, you're doing press conferences with nobody there, and now you're getting to know a person just like we are right now. And so that would be really, really tough to try to get yourself acclimated to your job. And think about it, you can't meet any boosters either. So no doubt this is a lot more difficult, but I can only imagine for a brand new staff.
We're all missing March Madness a little bit, so I was hoping, obviously you were a part of one of the bigger upsets in the NCAA tournament of the past decade with your Middle Tennessee team taking down Michigan State. What was the story about that team, or something that maybe a lot of people didn't know about leading up to that game to maybe get our March Madness fix in a little bit?
I had 2 guys from Mississippi. This is true story. One of them was my starting point guard, Jacob Ivory. We're playing Oklahoma State. He's from Murrah High School. He had a hard, tough fall, had some reoccurring concussions, and then we ruled him his career was done. Had another starting guard from the coast, Ed Simpson, a junior. The day before our tournament in Birmingham, the Conference USA tournament, Ed broke his foot in one of the most gruesome injuries I've ever seen. We stopped practice. Ambulance came and got him. And so both of those guys, so then we start the tournament the next day. And our team we played great in the tournament, won a great game against Old Dominion by 2 points. Reggie Upshaw made a 2-shot foul to win it. And then I said, okay, the week before Michigan State, I said, guys, we're not going to do one thing contact. We went hard. There's going to be no contact. I was really worried about. I was just paranoid about guys getting hurt. And I wanted to enjoy the experience, and we just had this great air. And the one thing we hung on to, I said, guys, just think about it, shirts and skins. It's just if you're at the park and all of a sudden they rolled in and you rolled in, nobody thinks they're going to lose a pickup game, you know. And so if nobody had their colors on and their names, and so that was kind of our mantra all week. And we got off to this great start, and all of a sudden 17,000 fans in St. Louis were Blue Raider fans. It turned into a home game, and it was just unbelievable. We just played at such a high level, and yeah, that game is obviously the greatest moment probably in the history of Middle Tennessee athletics.
We have some rain out there developing, and this will continue this evening and tonight. The heaviest rain probably across the northern tier or the northern half of the region tonight. Maybe a few storms thrown into the mix tomorrow morning. A bit of a wet start for our Tuesday, more in the way of scattered showers in the afternoon. Bright sunshine Wednesday, warmer 70s return Thursday and Friday, Scott, also carrying over into our weekend.
I like those 70s. Real nice. Thanks so much, Keith. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.